Welcome back to BetX, and it's time to talk about the home teams, the Knicks and the Rangers. We're going to get into what they have coming up this week, what's on their schedule, and how it can affect their postseason hopes. Now, let's talk about expectations. We're past the halfway point in the NBA and in the NHL season, and both the Knicks and the Rangers are in playoff positions. Do you think that these teams are meeting or exceeding your expectations?
They're right at where I expected them to be right now. You look at the New York Knicks, they're 6th in the East right now, 23-19, and starting to play better basketball. This is where I thought the Knicks would be. I think who's exceeding my expectations is Jalen Brunson, who's playing like a max contract player, and it's looking like the Knicks got him at a bargain.
Yeah, for me, the Rangers are, even though they're only 4 points behind Carolina, I would say they're kind of failing expectations just because I expected them to be better on home ice, 10-11 so far this season. As it pertains to the Knicks, they exceeded my expectations. If you would have told me they were going to have a better record than the Raptors, the Miami Heat, the Chicago Bulls, Atlanta Hawks, I wouldn't have believed you. As well as I thought the Knicks would play this season. Those are four very good teams that were all in the playoffs last year. Hats off, as you said, to Jalen Brunson. He's hooping, and R.J. Barrett is back now, and Julius Randle looking like an all-star.
Yeah, 5 games can separate you from the top or the play-in, so there's a lot going on, a lot of parity this year in the NBA. Now, if you took the Rangers and the Knicks in a playoff parlay, both teams to make the playoffs, you'd get that at plus 133. Would you grab that ticket as soon as possible, or would you wait for better value?
I would wait for better value again, because going back to those teams that are in the Eastern Conference, I do think there is a world where some teams try to make a trade at the trade deadline to improve their odds, particularly like the Heat that are right behind them, maybe the Raptors. We'll see what happens. And then I would fire up on that prop, because I do think the Knicks do end up making the playoffs.
I think you grab it now because I don't think the value is going to get much better. If either of these teams start to go on a downward spiral, then they most likely won't be making the playoffs. But I don't see that happening. I think the consistency will be there, and both teams will continue. The value will continue to go down.
Yeah, it's a tight race. These are tight races, and I would even look to see if that ticket says they have to make the playoffs, meaning you either get a top 6 seed or you win the play-in tournament. Because that language now with the NBA, because if you say they're going to be one of the top 10, then I'd say, yeah, fire right away. Otherwise, you may want to wait and see if you could get better odds, because you want to see if they're going to get closer to that top 6, you know? That is the Rangers and the Knicks outlook for the second half of the season.